Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Vinny's Take. Today we're talking about some big news that happened today. The NCAA's Board of Governors, so what they call it? Yes, Board of Governors on Tuesday announced that athletes can be paid for, well, I guess that doesn't show the title. NCAA says athletes can be paid for their name, image, and likenesses. Now, it's not going to go into effect right away. In fact, according to this article on CNN, the board, which met in Atlanta, asked each division to create rules between now and January of 2021 for their names, images, and likenesses for that to take it into effect. This goes along with the California law, which was passed, the Fair Pay to Play Act, which would go into effect in 2023. And it's a stunning reversal since up until today, the NCAA has been against that law change. Now, why is it exciting for people like us? Well, for people like us that do video game channels, especially for somebody like me that does editing back to past video games, the chance to get an NCAA football game on a PlayStation 4 that has a streaming service is huge. Or by then it'd be the PlayStation 5 probably. That's huge. That's big for me, but not just for me. As a former athlete, let me tell you something. As a former junior college member of the 1997 SUNY Canton football team, and I got into 3 games, I wasn't worth much. I wouldn't have been able to sell my likeness or my image or my name or anything like that. But for somebody like I can't think of who's big right now. Well, Saquon Barkley, when he was in college, think of the money that he could have made during his senior year or junior year, whatever it was. And that's huge. Now, there are going to be arguments against saying that it's ruining college sports, that the players will be only out for themselves now, and the colleges are going to have to pay. It's not the colleges that are going to have to pay, first of all. It'll most likely be advertisers, Jersey, Nike, EA Sports, stuff like that will be paying the athletes. So don't get your facts twisted. University of Southern California is not going to be allowed to pay their quarterbacks or their running backs. It's going to be up to Reebok and Nike and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's still going to be rules in effect about agents and all that. So don't expect that next fall NCAA 20 will be coming out. It'll probably be more likely NCAA 24 before a game comes out, and whether EA Sports takes it or not. Because you got to remember that there are also changes involved with this when the NCAA basically dissolved. EA Sports dissolved its partnership with the NCAA. Now they'd have to negotiate with individual colleges. That's still in effect. So the NCAA is not going to get, or EA Sports is not going to get to use 130 schools just because they say so. They're going to have to go out and negotiate. They're going to have to come up with some kind of deal to pay the athletes. So there's a huge process still involved in this. It's not going to go into effect tomorrow, but it's a start. It's a big start. And now one last thing, while I'm watching the World Series, it's watching Washington go up 2-0 and then basically collapse, which is happening as they're right now trailing 2 runs to 1. Reminds me of the 1996 Atlanta Braves. I saw that the stadium crew at Washington was rehearsing the stage setup and teardown for the trophy presentation when they came back to Washington, thinking for sure they were going to win 2 out of 3 games while they were in the Capitol, right? Teams, one thing you should never do is, especially your stadium crew, is celebrate before you've reached the end zone. Before the ball has gone over the wall, don't start your home run trot. Houston will probably win Game 6 and will probably win their second World Series in 2 years or 3 years. And Washington, the Nationals, and their fans can only wonder what if. One last thing. Big news coming out of the sports world the other night. When President Trump showed up at the Nationals ballpark for the World Series, he got booed loudly. People even chanting things like, "Lock him up." Well, good. Congratulations. There's a poll you can believe in. Just like the New York Times poll in 2016, right? Just ask Hillary Clinton, how that worked out. So again, don't count your chickens before they hatched, whether it be elections or the World Series. And good for the NCAA for making a rule change that I can get behind. Now it's up to the players to actually earn that money that's coming to them. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for an episode of The Greatest Game tonight, featuring the 1985 Chicago Bears and the 1991 Atlanta Falcons. It'll be myself versus Phantom Fighter. Until then, I'm Vinny Vincent. God bless America.